Hi guys, it's me, Terry of the Yarnjoy podcast. Welcome to Vlogtober, day number 6. Okay, so for my mini project that I did for today is, again, following the Happy Berry crochet tutorials, I decided to do the mini cactus using 3-weight yarn and a 3.0 millimeter hook. I think it turned out really cute. It's pretty small, and so I decided instead of a backpack buddy I would do a lobster claw top to it, and I made it into a zipper pull. So this would look really cute. Make it stop. This would look really cute on a as a zipper pull on a bag, especially if you have a print bag like some of the prints that are out now. Like I do have, I don't have it with me, it's over there, but it's a llama print that's got cactus in the background also besides the llama, and so I'm thinking that this would be really cute as a zipper pull on a bag with a print like that that has cactus on it. Okay, so that is my mini project for the day. Okay, and then now let's move on to the trivia questions. Yesterday, the trivia questions that I asked were, the first one was, how many actors did it take to portray Darth Vader in Star Wars? And the answer to that one is 4. James Earl Jones provided Vader's deep booming voice. David Prowse played the villain's body. Sebastian Shaw played the unmasked face. And sound designer Ben Burt provided the Dark Lord's infamous breathing effect. Okay. Okay, well that was interesting. I did not know that it took 4 of them to pull that off. Okay, so the next question I asked was, what 1970s film was the first to feature a computer-generated title sequence? Was it Jaws 2, Revenge of the Pink Panther, Grease, or Superman? And the answer to that one was D, Superman. Superman became the first of many films to use computer animation in its opening sequence. Okay. And the last one that I asked yesterday was, whose face has appeared on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine more than anyone else's? Was it Bob Dylan, Eric Clapton, Tiny Tim, or John Lennon? And the answer is C, which is Tiny Tim. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, now, so questions for today. The first one is, which piano-playing entertainer earned the nicknames Mr. Showmanship and the Glitter Man? Was that A, Stevie Wonder, B, Liberace, C, Elton John, or D, Billy Joel? Okay, next question is, which CD was the first one manufactured in the U.S.? Was it A, Billy Joel's 52nd Street, B, Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA, C, Cyndi Lauper's She's So Unusual, or D, Blondie's The Hunter? Okay. And then the third one for today is, in the Back to the Future franchise, at what speed is the DeLorean time machine activated? Is it A, 78 miles per hour, B, 88 miles per hour, C, 98 miles per hour, or D, 108 miles per hour? Okay, so that is a trivia question, so stay tuned to tomorrow's episode and I will give you the answers. Okay, so now the Q&A section of today's video. Continuing on with the great questions that everybody had been asking me. Let's see. Debbie Clip asks, she asked me a couple of questions. I mean, yeah, two questions. No, 3 questions. Okay, let's get on to them. When did you create your craft room, or have you always had one? Oh no, I haven't had one. I mean, besides this, I have not always had one. Let's put it that way. Okay. I did not get my craft room until my oldest son got married and moved out of the house. And so, this room was one of my son's bedrooms. In fact, this room was actually my younger son's bedrooms, and my older son's bedroom was across the hall. And so when my older son got married and moved out, my younger son decided he wanted the other bedroom. And so he moved into that one, and I moved into this one. So let's see, my older son has been married about 4.5 years. And so, yeah, so that's how long I've had a craft room. Before that, I had craft stuff all over the house, under the bed, you know, in containers. The wardrobe that I've shown you in other craft room tours, which is over right here, I had that one. That was in the living room and had yarn in it, just like it does now, but it was not in here. So yeah, I had craft stuff in the laundry room, just anywhere where I could put it, I had craft stuff. Okay, second question is, did you ever work outside the home? Well, before I got married, I worked some summer jobs at the courthouse offices in my hometown. After I got married, I did work briefly the summer right after I graduated college, because I got married right after my junior year of college, so I actually had 1 whole year and then 1 extra semester before I graduated that I was going to school and was married. And so anyway, right after that, the summer after I graduated, I think, yeah, I did some work at the college on the campus where I went to school in the health department, and it was just some secretarial type work. That I was taking the place of the secretary that was on maternity leave, and so I worked for about 6 weeks, I think, and then that's it. After that, no, because by that time we were wanting to start a family, and so I just stayed home after that. Okay, and then let's see, the next question is about the blanket that's right back here behind me. Whoop. There, the red granny square. Okay, she was asking me, she says, I always find myself looking at that blanket behind you. I just love it and the colors you chose. How did it come about? Well, I had a lot of balls, little tiny balls of scrap yarn, and so I decided I'd just start making granny squares. And first, I did not have this pattern in mind. It is actually a pattern. I didn't have it in mind. I was just making granny squares using up the tiny little balls, because, you know, it doesn't take much in the first 2 or 3 rounds of a granny square. It doesn't take much yarn. And so I was just doing random colors, different color combinations, and I had quite a big stack of these small, was it 4 round, I think, granny squares. And so, and then I happened to be browsing through Red Heart. I think, yeah, it's because it's Red Heart pattern. And I found this pattern for this granny square blanket, and I thought it was really interesting because besides the granny squares, it has the granny stitch, but into rectangles, as you can see. And so I thought, oh, I still had scraps left, and so I thought, well, that'd be a cool blanket. And so the name of the pattern is Squares and Rectangles Throw, I think. I will put a link in the description box below of that pattern because it's a free pattern from Red Heart and still available. Okay, so, and then I happened to have a lot of red yarn at that time, and so I decided, well, I'll just use that for the main color. You know, before then I always would use just either white or black for a main color of something like that, and I just happened to have a whole lot of red, and I thought, oh, well, let's just use that and live dangerously. And so I decided to do the red, and then I made up the rectangles to go with my square pieces, and then laid it out, and it's whip stitched. It's, well, you do another layer of granny stitch around in the red of each square and rectangle. Yeah, and then you whip stitch it all together, and then there you go. So that's how that came about. And so I think I made it for charity, but then after I made it, I couldn't give it away. And so there you go. Okay. So there is those questions, and let me see next. Charlotte Logan says, what is your favorite thing to crochet, and what books do you like to read? Okay, well, my favorite thing to crochet, I guess, is I do like some blankets, but I really like the lap blankets or like throws to go on the couch. Really nothing bigger than that. And I love to do baby blankets because that's similar size, is like that. I like to do, of course, amigurumis. So I guess my favorite items would be the amigurumis, but then also blankets or shawls. You know, a pretty good sized project, but not a huge project. I haven't done like a bed size blanket or anything like that. That'd be pretty big. And heavy, I think, because of all the yarn that's in it. So, yeah. And what books do you like to read? Well, when I was a teenager, I was a real bookworm. And of course, it was like teen romances. That's pretty much what I read. And then I got to where, after I got older and got married, I still read some. And I seemed like then, though, I kind of leaned toward Christian fiction novels, but still with a romance feel to it. Also, like historical fiction. I like, you know, where the story takes place in the 1800s or even earlier, like with knights and princesses and stuff like that. I don't read that much anymore. I should. But I don't read near as much as I used to. But I know my favorite Christian fiction author is Lori Wick, and I have down here on a shelf, I have a pretty big collection of her books. I don't have the later ones. These are ones that she wrote probably in the 90s, I guess. A few series where there was like 3 or 4 books in the series, and it's all historical time setting, you know, and back in the 1800s or even earlier, you know, and I really enjoy those books. And so in fact I've read them several times, you know, more than once. Anyway, that's the kind of books I like to read. Okay, what is my favorite color and favorite crochet stitch? Okay, my favorite color is I like purples, and like the purple and gray combination I think is really pretty. I also love beach colors, like the aquas and the turquoise and the sand color all kind of mixed together. I like greens and blues and really cool colors. Yeah. What is your favorite crochet stitch? I would say probably the half double crochet, because it's a little bit it's bigger than a single crochet, but it doesn't take the extra step in a double. You know, so I think it's a half double crochet is a really good stitch. Yeah. And who is my favorite designer for toys? This is from Queen's Crochet SC. I would say I have a few. My favorite ones, I guess, is for toys, I would say Sharon Oyala, definitely. Also Jess Huff. I've done quite a few of hers. That was the giraffe that I did, and Benedict the bear that I'm working on right now. The zebra, Zane the zebra, that I recently did. I've made those 3. Jenny the giraffe, yeah. Those were all Jess Huff patterns. I also like the left-handed crocheter. That's the one I did. Marty the Moose, the one I'm working on now. She's got some really good patterns. And also the Friend Red Fox, which is Milo the monkey that I did. So those are all designers that I really... Oh, and 3 AM Grace Designs. She does some really cute amigurumis toys as well. So, yeah, I have several that I like. Okay. Phyllis Grant asked me, have I ever traveled outside of Texas? Well, yes. Not big trips. Well, okay, so I have been to Louisiana a couple of times. I have been to Florida once, but it was like from our airport to Orlando and to Disney World and back to the airport and back. So, I mean, it wasn't like around in Florida. I would like to. And I've been to Hawaii. That was on my honeymoon back in 1987 when we got married. Would really love to go back there. And that's it, outside of Texas. Oh, when I was a child, we went to, we drove down to Mexico, and we went like across the border to say, oh, we're out of the United States, and then we turned around and come back. That was it. We were in a town there, a border town of close to Mexico, shopping, or yeah, and so we just thought, oh, we'll go across the border and then come back, and you know, to say, oh, we're out of the United States. That's all. Okay. I was about 12 or 10 or 12, something like that, I guess. Crochet Crazy Lady asked me, do you like collaborating and or connecting in the YouTube world, or do you prefer going it alone? No, I love collaborating. I've done a collaboration. Well, I did one, what was it, last year, I guess, and it went really well, and I just, I had a few YouTubers join me and do the same, do a video on the same subject as what I was doing it on, which was, I think, repurposing items for craft storage and organization. That was really fun. So yes, I love collaborating and connecting in the YouTube. Oh, I love to do carousels and just yarn swaps and things, you know, with other YouTubers is super fun. So no, I mean, I'm not a loner, I don't think. I like interacting very much so with other people. Okay, so I guess I'll leave it at that. Thanks for joining me today, and stay tuned for tomorrow, which will be Vlogtober day number 7. See you later, guys. Bye.